Around this time each year, the Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC, meets to combine ideas with action. Both the president and the vice president often stop by that event to connect with their conservative base, and it's all in the effort to leverage the strength of thousands of grassroots conservative activists. Here's One America's John Hines.
If indeed spring is somewhere just around the corner, it must be time for the annual Woodstock for Conservatives, also known as the Conservative Political Action Conference, or CPAC, which, after 4 decades, continues to be at the heart and soul of the conservative movement.
People have talked about American exceptionalism for years and debated whether America is truly an exceptional nation. At CPAC, we're going to define what greatness actually is, what exceptional is. So this year's CPAC theme is what makes America great. And we're going to bring the best thinkers and the best political heroes around the country to discuss these issues and to educate our attendees about these topics.
What makes America great? Words that surely ring familiar to many conservatives, inspired, though, not necessarily by President Trump, but by the political zeitgeist of the moment, says Dan Schneider, who is the executive director at the American Conservative Union, which hosts CPAC each year.
We picked the theme for the moment. So this year's theme is based on the fact that there is a sharper ideological divide than ever before in our nation between the left and the right, where so many people are now embracing socialism. And that's a real threat to our freedom and to our prosperity. So we have to remind people what, in fact, makes America great, why it's worth fighting for, what's at stake. Because if we don't know what we're fighting for, we will lose.
What we are fighting for, says Schneider, who explains that people like former Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker, Utah Senator Mike Lee, the Susan B. Anthony list Marjorie Dannenfelser, Larry Kudlow, Laura Ingraham, Congressman Jim Jordan and Mark Meadows, Senators Marsha Blackburn, David Perdue, and James Langford, and many others will speak to that question. And when they speak, their message will go to a uniquely youthful crowd, many on college campuses, says Schneider.
This CPAC, we have 3 satellite locations. They are all universities, Liberty University, Colorado Christian, and Pepperdine. And so we'll have live audiences at each of those locations watching our CPAC stage. They'll have their own programming as well. So I'm guessing we'll have about 20,000 people in all. But who are these people? For our main stage here in the Washington, D.C. area, about half of the attendees are under the age of 24. It's exciting to see the next generation who really believes in these ideas of freedom.
And speaking of ideas of freedom, Schneider hints that the president may attend fresh from his negotiations with Kim Jong-un in Vietnam.
I can say that last year the president promised he'd be back. We will be making additional announcements of our speakers. We do tend to save sort of the biggest name speakers for last.
CPAC begins Wednesday afternoon, just a stone's throw from the Capitol, and One America News will have extensive coverage. John Hines, One America News, Washington.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.